Dear delegates, welcome to the second MUN conference at TajRupt. Today we will simulate first committee of General Assembly of United Nations. And today's topic would be peacekeeping mission in Ukraine. Turkey. Yes,
Merhaba, dear ladies and gentlemen. Imagine that there is a conflict between two of your neighbors. So to find out who is who, we need to enter the both houses, but not to say between two closed doors. So, Turkey's position in this problem is clear. We support Ukraine's decision and respect its sovereignty. We are confident that the peacekeepers should be deployed both along the line of contact in Donbass and along the uncontrolled territory in Donbass, in the Russian-Ukrainian border to ensure security of the OSCE mission. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, the delegates of Turkey. Are there any delegates wish to speak? Belarus, please.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair, dear delegates. Today we gathered here to discuss about big problem in Europe, civil war in Ukraine. As we know, civil war started in 2014 and more than 10,000 people were died in this war. So Ukraine and great powers like USA, Russia must work together to stop this war, and Ukraine and Donbass should fulfill their obligation under the Minsk obligations. If they don't want to carry out of this agreement, we must revise the Minsk protocol.
Thank you, the delegation of Belarus. Are there any delegates wish to speak? Ukraine, please.
Good day, dear delegates. I'm present the delegate of the Ukraine. We all know about the conflict in Ukraine, which started in 2014. This conflict and combat actions are conducted between the armed forces of Ukraine and rebel detachments, mainly supporters of the self-proclaimed the Donetsk and Lugansk. In addition to the armed force of Ukraine in the battles against the supporters of the Donetsk and Lugansk Republic and voluntary paramilitary groups.
Thank you, the delegation of Ukraine. Are there any delegates wish to speak? France.
Hello everybody, I'm delegate of France, and the position of France that France's response to the Ukraine crisis has been more active and more determined than many would have predicted. Paris has entered the leading European force to resolve the conflict in Donbass, and though the normal format which eventually led to Minsk agreement. Paris also supported the EU policy that on sanction.
Thank you, delegation of France. The time is up.
Good afternoon, honorable delegations. Today we are going to solve the problem which is too critical. Already 40 years we can't solve the problem in Ukraine. We should pay attention to this problem. If we don't pay attention to this problem, it will develop and can have influences to the whole world. By the threats which it can bring, we should pay attention and finally solve this problem.
Are there any delegates wish to speak? Sweden.
Good afternoon, dear delegates. I'm delegate from Sweden. We come here not to solve the problem in Ukraine. The problem is very serious, and we must solve the problem in compromise and humanitarian. History shows the fruit of violence is only chaos and destructions, and we must solve the problem peacefully and come to compromise. Always, we support only peace.
Thank you, delegation of Sweden. Seeing the debate is exhausted, I would like to ask from delegate, are there any points of motion on the floor? Turkey.
The delegation of Turkey motions for 8 minutes of unmoderated questions.
Thank you. Are there any points on motion on the floor? UK.
The delegation of UK motions for 15 minutes of unmoderated caucus.
15 minutes is too much.
Only 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Alright.
Delegation of Portugal voted for 10 minutes. 10 minutes unmoderated caucus.
Alright.
Yeah.
We already have it. Alright. Seeing two motions, we will announce both of them. First, voted by Turkey for 8 minutes of unmoderated caucus. And the second motion made by the United Kingdom, 10 minutes of unmoderated caucus. So seeing having two motions, yes, Turkey. Do you have a question?
She wants to.
Okay, seeing two motions, we will vote. Starting by the first motion made by Turkey. So all in favor for 8 minutes of unmoderated caucus. Thank you, Delegate. We have 6. Now, we will vote for the second motion. All in favor for 10 minutes of unmoderated caucus.
10 minutes is better.
Seeing the majority for second motion, now we are in 10 minutes of unmoderated caucus.
I prepared preambatory clause. Then we can discuss the operative clause. Its preambatory clause is not so important. Here we are just writing the situation that is discussed. So,
With the money, trying to make a compromise with the money, friendship. They will
this peacekeeping mission will be continue will last for 1 year.
for 1 year.
Russia we propose for 1 year. It will be enough. It will be more than enough.
More than enough, yes.
Yes.
You
If
see,
Donbass,
change.
okay, but you're going to listen to me, please. If Donbass will be inability to have guns,
Conflict may lead to the third World War. Yes, having considered all countries' interests.
Autonomic republics, two autonomic republics, Lugansk and Donbass.
Focus without discussion.
To make the countries negotiate among each other and to make the third.
No, like to collect Donbass, Lugansk, Ukraine.
Ukraine, of course.
Itself.
Germany also. Germany supports.
the problem in Ukraine.
France.
It's bad.
The United States of America supports Tajikistan.
So, what about Russia?
Wait a minute. By giving $50 million military.
What about
You don't want to make anything. You want to make a peace in your country, you know?
Write your if you are agree. Okay, so listen our idea.
what about them?
We want to invite all the countries, for example, the representative from Donbass, Lugansk, Russia, United States, and you, and to negotiate with you, just to make a peace, not without making some people. What?
Overall,
Yeah.
like, it will be the third agreement, like the third mini agreement, but there's a punishment, like plus.
So the wolf.
Okay. We shouldn't finish it. Listen.
Right,
Tajikistan.
So listen, our solution was to make two republics, autonomic republics, Donbass and Lugansk.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So what? Because they have very different.
we have, how many we have? 7.
7. It's equal.
Dear delegates, please take your seats. Your time is over. Your time is over. Please take your seats. Dear delegates, please concentrate on the session. Time for unmoderated caucus is over. So now, as your chair, I'm waiting for motions or points. So are there any points or motion on the floor? Tajikistan.
The delegation of Tajikistan votes for 10 minutes of unmotivated caucus again.
Since we already were in unmoderated caucus, I would be glad to hear for moderated caucus, so there will be a debate. Okay, Turkey.
The delegation of Turkey motions for unmoderated caucus for 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes.
Russia.
The Russian Federation delegations votes for motions for 10 minutes of moderated caucus.
Thank you. Your motion is well accepted. UK.
The delegation of the United Kingdom motions for 5 minutes of moderated caucus with a 30 seconds time limit for each of us.
Yeah.
Russia, what is your time?
Speaking time 30 seconds.
45.
Portugal.
The delegation of Portugal votes for 5 minutes unmoderated caucus.
We already have the motion.
It's impossible.
All right, we have two motions at the moment. The first one is made by Russia for 10 minutes of moderate focus with 30 seconds of speaking time. And the second motion is 5 minutes of moderated focus made by the United Kingdom with 30 seconds speaking time. So we will go for the voting of the first 5 minutes moderated focus first, and then we will go to second. So, all in favor for 5 minutes of moderate caucus with 30 seconds speaking time?
5 minutes?
5 minutes.
Yes, 5 minutes of moderate caucus. Okay, thank you, delegates.
No, I'm not ready to motion.
All right, second motion, 10 minutes of moderate caucus with 30 seconds speaking time. All in favor? So seeing the majority for this side, this motion passed. So now we are in 10 minutes of moderate caucus with 30 seconds speaking time. Is it clear?
Yes.
Any delegates wish to speak? Italy, we have 30 seconds. Yes, please.
The delegation of Italy wants to support the country's position that we wanted to make the compromise among countries and to keep, to reaffirm the peace in Ukraine without making someone on the contrary of someone else, and the countries need to negotiate among each other and not to put sanctions and other actions, because a compromise is the best way to find a peace. And as we know from the history, the result of violation was just war, and we don't want to repeat the repetition of the Third War.
Okay, thank you, Italy. Are there any delegates wish to speak? The United Kingdom, please.
Ukraine with the peacekeeping mission. That's why UK wants to collect all the countries such as Ukraine, Poland, Italy, USA, especially USA and Russia, in order to negotiate about it and to make a Minsk agreement number 3, because it's very important. That's why UK supports the Minsk agreement number 3. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Any other delegates wish to speak? Russian Federation.
So the war in Ukraine lasts too long, too many people died, and our country accepted a lot of refugees, tens of thousands to be correct, and this war should be prevented. And that's why, after negotiations, we want to create two republics, like Lugansk Autonomic Republic and Donbass, but they will be still in the in Ukraine. But everyone will be happy, and the war will be prevented. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other delegates? Tajikistan.
For giving a debt to Ukraine, because the economical situation in Ukraine is really bad. So when we give a debt, economical situation goes to better side, and we hope that Russia will be punished because they have took Crimea illegally. Okay, Tajikistan, feel the friendship.
Any other delegates wish to speak? Turkey.
The delegation in Turkey has studied this problem and came to some points to resolve this problem. We want peace in all over the world. We want to stabilize the economic in the world. As we know, Ukraine is one of the countries with good economic, and we want it to become good again. So we vote for making peace in Ukraine and negotiate with other countries. Thank you for your attention.
Portugal.
The delegation of Portugal determined that this problem in Ukraine is very serious, and we need to deploying this problem, and we need to analyze it in every cases, because this problem is going very seriously, and some countries illegally doing their sites inside the Ukraine, and our country think that it is better to deploying and analyze it.
Any other delegates wish to speak? Belarus.
Ukraine and Donbass didn't fulfill their obligation under the Minsk Protocol. So the agreement was signed by themselves in 2014 and in Belarus under the auspice of OSCE. If they don't want to carry out of this agreement, we must revise the Minsk Protocol.
Thank you very much. Any other delegates wish to speak? Seeing none, are there any points or motions on the floor? Turkey.
The delegation of Turkey motions for 5 minutes of unmoderated conferences.
Thank you, Turkey.
Can you put it 6?
6 minutes? Tajikistan.
The delegation of Tajikistan votes for 8 minutes of unmotivated comments.
Belarus.
So the delegation of Belarus motions for unlimited caucus with 10 minutes.
Okay, seeing motions, we would have two motions to vote. The first one, 8 minutes of unmoderated focus, and the second one is 10 minutes unmoderated focus. So, all in favor for 8 minutes of unmoderated focus. Thank you. Thank you. So, seeing the majority, this motion passed.
You wanted our secretary?
We did. We want to make peace among countries.
Where everything will be analyzed, will be signed, and we would like to make a compromise. So the first compromise, the voice point.
We will tell that it's not independent fully. If it's like a contract negotiate, yeah. But already I wrote some ready to stop the war with the government, supports to make the battle of guns of the Republic but still connected to peace, reminds one of two sides are going to destroy the agreement.
People in Donbass and Lugansk, they want to be independent, you know? They will get that independence, but they will be still in Ukraine.
Dear delegates, are you finished? Thank you. If you have any resolution that is ready and you want to reintroduce or introduce it, you need to pass it to the chair. Okay? So we have two resolutions on the floor. Resolution 1.1.
Sponsors are.
Where are the sponsors? Sponsors are Turkey, Portugal, United States, and signatories Ukraine, France, Egypt, Tajikistan. Right? And we have resolution 1.2. The sponsors are Italy, Russia, and United Kingdom.
Yes.
Signatories are Ukraine, Poland, Sweden, and Belarus.
Why Ukraine?
So,
They can.
point 1.1.
Okay. Dear delegations, we, three sponsors of Resolution 1.1, Turkey, Portugal, and United States, discussed the problem, negotiated with all the existed here delegations, and write a resolution. In our preparatory clause, we're saying, having started the problem of Ukraine and taking into consideration the danger of ruining the fragile peace in the world, realizing all the consequences of this war, confident to stop the war and restore the peace, we, sponsors and signatures, decided in operative clause, we want to peacekeeping mission be exist and sent to Ukraine. Our peacekeeping mission,
It's going to happen.
Is going to be deployed in uncontrolled territory Donbass and especially in the Russian-Ukrainian border to ensure for OSCE mission to find out the truth. Also, this peacekeeping mission, in our opinion, should last for 1 year. Should last for 1 year. We think this period is enough to realize the problem, to analyze it, and find the solution.
During this 1 year, we will do like these works. We will analyze this problem, and we will determine, and we will send a lot of projects. Which will hold in two cities of the Ukraine, Donbass and Lugansk, and we will see and we will analyze how illegally confidently working the European countries.
So, honorable delegates, we are gathered here to discuss this problem. So let's do what we have to do. We have to decide what must be done in Turkey and in Ukraine. We have make a peacekeeping mission. So as Turkey said, the delegation of Turkey said, we can make it, and it will last only 1 year. It seriously will be enough, I think. So as our sponsors think so, and it really will be enough. And we will analyze and solve this problem. I hope that you will support us, and we would cooperate.
At the end, we want to say that the main theme, the main topic for what we all came together today is to find a solution on Ukrainian problem. During 3 years, the people were suffering, so let's stop it. Thank you for your attention.
Now we go to the introduction of Resolution 1.2. The signatories are sponsors are Italy, Russia, and United Kingdom.
Honorable delegates, the topic is the peacekeeping mission in Ukraine. That's why we conclude all our opinions in one resolution, which I would like to read. First of all, the General Assembly is alarmed by the critical situation in the borders of Ukraine, fully aware of 10,000 people killed at the result of war, seeking the way to make a compromise among countries, taking into consideration the history events, noting further that the result of frozen conflicts may lead to the Third World War, having considered all countries' interests in this situation.
So our operative clause includes, first of all, General Assembly knows to collect, gather Donbass, Lugansk, Russia, United States of America, Ukraine, Germany, and France, because Germany and France are very important countries and they have strong military, and voters from United Nations, and to make the third Minsk agreement, because civilians of Donbass and Lugansk are ready to stop the war with any agreement. And the second is support to make Donbass and Lugansk autonomic republic, but still connected with Ukraine, because each of two sides will be agree to have their independence and dependent on Ukraine. And reminds two sides, if one of two sides destroys the agreement, United Nations will give them independence to Donbass and Lugansk. It means that to reduce the territory of Ukraine if Ukraine destroys the third Minsk agreement. And so the fourth and the fifth works out.
To send the peacekeeping army from the UN, because if the help from NATO will be sent, it will be lead to the war. Reminds that the debt to Ukraine is not the way to solve the problem, because we don't know the final direction of money. So why the war is going? Because people in Lugansk and Donetsk autonomic republics, they want to be independent, but they will never happen because Ukraine doesn't want that. So we negotiated with Ukraine and France and Sweden, and these countries supported our idea to make autonomic republics of Lugansk and Donbass and to officially recognize them. If this will be done, then the war will be stopped because everyone will get everything that they want. Thank you.
Also, we don't want to put sanctions or to make countries against each other, and we want to make the compromise, because the peace is the only way which will lead to the bright future, and not only the sanction can be the decision of such kind of problems. Thank you.
Also, additionally, I would like to add that we would like to negotiate about this and to make the best resolution on the peacekeeping mission in Ukraine. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for introduction of both resolutions. There should be a note that for resolution 1.1, the sponsors are Turkey, Portugal, and the United States. Your format of resolution is not properly according to the MUN rules.
We know it's not full, we will make it full to the voting procedure.
That's why
It's a draft resolution.
Okay, I'm just letting you know that you should work on it. So now we have two resolutions presented. So I will be waiting for the points on motions, so you can work towards your resolution, talk about or negotiate about the amendments, and then finalize the final resolution.
Okay.
Are there any points or motions on the floor?
Point of information.
Yes.
Honorable Chair, is it possible to introduce a resolution if it's not fully ready for 100%?
No.
No, but David.
It's a draft resolution, it's not written.
One thing.
Yes.
When we are in a process of finalizing our resolution, the delegates have a chance or the right to represent their draft. But the final cannot be accepted if it's not fully formatted. Okay? Then, yes.
Then UK delegation would like to motions for 5 minutes of unmoderated caucus.
All right. Thank you for the motion. Any other motions? Yes, United States.
United States motions for unmoderated caucus for 8 minutes to end the draft resolution.
Thank you. Having two motions on the floor, first 5 minutes of unmoderated caucus, the second is 8 minutes. So we'll go for the voting. All in favor for 5 minutes of unmoderated caucus? Thank you. All in favor for 8 minutes of unmoderated caucus? Seeing the majority, second motion passed. So now we are in 8 minutes of unmoderated caucus. Please work on your resolution. Finalize the
And each candidate will have with a
Just like fully resolution.
So you don't have any amendments for the resolutions, right?
No, we haven't.
Okay. We will have a moderate focus to debate the resolution.
Okay.
Then, if we will go to the voting procedure, 2 against and 2 for, then the final stage we will vote for both resolutions.
Okay.
So right now I'm expecting from moderate caucus where you present the position in your resolution, so you will get support from other delegates.
Okay.
Is it clear?
It's clear.
All right. Are there any points or motion on the floor? Turkey.
The delegation of Turkey motions for moderated caucus for 8 minutes with 30 seconds of speaking time to debate on resolutions.
Are there any points or motion on the floor? 8 minutes for moderate caucus with 30 seconds speaking time. All in favor? Seeing the majority, this motion passed. Now we are in 8 minutes of moderate caucus with 30 seconds of speaking time. Any delegates wish to speak?
Yeah.
Italy. You have 30 seconds.
Our sponsors, they suggest to collect people from Donbass, Lugansk, Russia, United States, Ukraine, because without negotiations, any problem can be decided. And if we don't take into consideration everyone's opinion, it will be the continuous of problem, war, civil war, and people will not understand each other, and they cannot express their opinion. Because if we want to make the peace in the country, we should take into consideration everyone's opinion and to decide what to do.
Thank you very much, Italy. Any other delegates wish to speak? Russia and Philippines.
So our main solution was to make 2 different republics, Lugansk and Donbass, but they will be like autonomic republics. They will remain in the country, in the Ukraine, and they will get their independence, but they will be still in the Ukraine. So like other experiences show, in other countries, autonomic republics are doing well, and this helps. And if this will be done, then the war in the country, in the Ukraine, will be stopped. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Portugal, please.
Dear delegates, in order to keep peace in the Ukraine, we encourage the peacekeeping mission in Ukraine and send deployers, analyzers, and peacekeepers, and we think that we strongly consider that ensure security of its mission final out the truth, and we think that this would be better in order to send deployers there.
Thank you. Any delegates wish to speak? Turkey.
Our resolution is, the main goal of our resolution is making peace in Ukraine. As we know, during 3 years, the people of this country suffers. So we sponsor a signation of resolution 1.1, respect the Ukraine's decision and support its sovereignty. And we think that we should do all our the best to ensure the peace and restore it back. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Any other delegates? Okay.
Honorable delegates, first of all, the UK's mission is to admit the peacekeeping mission in Ukraine. That's why, first of all, as you know, the peacekeeping mission it won't be without negotiation. That's why, first of all, we would like to negotiate with each country who is there in there. So after it, we would like to make like peacekeeping mission number 3rd. So after it, we would like to do autonomous republics from that. Thank you for attention.
Are there any delegates who speak Italy?
The delegation of Italy suggests to send the peacekeeping army from the side of United Nations, because if America sends the help from the side of NATO, it will lead to the repetition of world conflict, and it will lead to the 3rd World War, because United Nations has a neutral position, and it will be a mostly powerful way to make a peace in the country with the help of blue helmets, and that's all.
Thank you. We can move to voting procedure. So right now, all doors should be locked. No changing the seats or any other things like this. So before, we will start with resolution 1.1. Sponsors Turkey, Portugal, and the United States. We need 2 delegates for and 2 delegates against. Who would like to be for? Turkey and Portugal. And who would like to be against? So we have Italy and we have Russian Federation. Please, delegation of Portugal, you have 30 seconds.
Dear delegates, our countries think that in order to keep peace in the Ukraine, we shouldn't divide the Lugansk and Donetsk, because when we divide to this city, we don't keep peace in the Ukraine. We need to negotiate, and we need to get the power of Ukraine in itself.
Thank you very much. The first delegate who is against would like to be Russia.
So we say that the resolution was to make like a peace company for 1 year, but as we know, there are already 2 Minsk agreements, and none of the countries follow it. So there is no any any things to do. Like that's happening again and again. People are dying all the time, and if we will separate 2 countries, make 2 autonomic republics, then every country will agree, and citizens of every country will agree, and no one will die. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, the second delegate for
Dear friends, just imagine that. Just imagine that, for example, in the United States we have 50 states. Just imagine that 2 of them, for example, Washington DC and California, will want to separate from United States. The sovereignty of the United States will be under damage. The United States will not be the state that it used to be 50 years before. So now we should respect the Ukraine sovereignty. We should do all the best to negotiate with both sides and restore the peace. Thank you.
You're the second delegate against Italy, please.
So we decided to give the autonomic status. It's not the full independence, note this. And I think that their resolution has not the exact plan and to maintain the peace. And 1 year is not enough to keep the peace permanently. And they said that they will have missions. And what missions exactly do you have? And also they want to analyze something. They're analyzing this problem for 4 years and nothing have changed. And I think that we should make actions in order to maintain the peace. Thank you.
Thank you. We will have 2 speakers for and 2 speakers against for resolution 2, and then we will work at the same time. Okay. Sounds good?
Yeah.
All right, now, resolution 1.2, 2 speakers for and 2 speakers against. Let's start with 4.
Against.
4.
4. Are you kidding?
4. We have UK. And anybody else? The others. Thank you. Who is against? United States. Sorry, we need some new delegates to speak. Alright, let's start with the first speaker who is for the resolution 1.2. For? Yes, first
Ukraine recognizes the autonomy of Donetsk People's Republic and Lugansk People's Republic. The civil war will stop and people will live in peace, of course, and we will not, territorial integrity of the Ukraine will be together. And
thank you. Okay, the first speaker who is against the resolution 1.2.
You know, our friend from Turkey has brought examples that if we take some states from United States is not going to be United States. And just imagine in place of Ukraine, it will be Tajikistan. And you know, Uzbekistan, let's take sub-region, and then people from United Nations take the Pamir, and then they take the Badakhshan. What will left? The question to you, what will left after this? Only Dushanbe or Kiev?
We will save you.
Alright. The second speaker who is for the resolution.
Dear friends, in my opinion, it's the best resolution because we have the exactly things, exactly missions which we would like to take in order. So the first we say that we would like to do autonomic states like Lugansk and Donetsk, but we don't mention that we would like to take them. It will be like USA states, 50 states, they are there, but they are not to obey to someone. It will be like that. That's why, in my opinion, doing the autonomic states from Lugansk and Donetsk is the best resolution. Thank you for your attention.
The second.
Okay, I yield my time to the Turkey.
Okay, Turkey.
Can I start?
Yes.
Okay. In resolution 1.2, they suggested to make 2 autonomic republics and to reduce Ukraine's territory. It's straight danger to sovereignty of Ukraine. This way should not pass. It's not the solution. It's just damaging for Ukraine. It's one-side resolution. It will bring benefit only for one side, and they have many benefits only for them. They don't think about people in the Ukraine. Many of them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have heard all the sides of both resolutions, both for and both for against. Now finally we go to the voting procedure. So please get ready and don't miss or misunderstand the question when it is asked.
Please understand the question.
Alright, so resolution 1.1.
So
The voting procedure starts. All in favor for this resolution? Alright, thank you. All against this resolution? So, this resolution does not pass because the resolution wasn't able to get the majority votes.
but if you compare it,
There is no compare. Right? Now, sponsors are Italy, Russia, and China. All in favor of this resolution? Please raise your placard if you are in favor. Yeah, this is a new voting procedure. All against? Seeing that the resolution wasn't able to get the majority, this resolution also fails. So the situation in Ukraine keeps being the same. With this session, our time comes to the end, and we end the session. Model UN course, Model United Nations course, which was pioneered by TajRupt. So basically today is the graduation of first students of Model UN who studied at TajRupt. So congratulations.
Thank you.
You made a great effort and great work to come to this day, because during these times it wasn't just a course, it was a lot of work, because you were studying a lot, you were covering lectures from globalization to international trade, from refugees to poverty, climate change, and gender equality. For completing Model UN course, please come up. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So we didn't do it on purpose to make her feel bad in the beginning, because we wanted to make her feel happy in the end. So honorable delegate for this conference goes to Zebo Furqatzoda as one of the best delegates today. Now, outstanding delegate. I would not do second description because all you know, Mr. Imran Alimov. Alright, so the best delegate. It was really tough decision. I hope that you will understand that we have considered different aspects while we were choosing this delegate. And we believe as a team that the best delegate for today's MUN conference was Fariza.
Good job. Thank you.
हमने इतनी सुरतों में शायद देखा